Welcome back. You're watching To The Point. Yesterday, the Prime Minister, in a powerful speech which many believe was an assurance to India's Christians, guaranteed freedom of religion and promised not to permit incitement of hatred against any religious group. But today, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad has questioned this interpretation. They claim that the Prime Minister was not reassuring Christians, but warning them to respect the Hindu faith instead. With me now is the head of the Catholic Church in Delhi, Archbishop Anil Kuto. Archbishop Kuto, yesterday in a powerful speech at a meeting organized by the Syro-Malabar Catholic Church, the Prime Minister said, and I'm quoting him, "My government will not allow any religious group belonging to the majority or the minority to incite hatred against others overtly or covertly." Now, as someone who in January told me that you were distressed by the Prime Minister's silence after the conversion campaigns and the attacks on churches, how do you respond to what the Prime Minister said yesterday?
I respond very positively to the Prime Minister's statement. Very happy that the Prime Minister has said this, and wait for the Prime Minister certainly to deliver on what he has said. But certainly it is a very good statement on the part of the Prime Minister. He has sent a message to everyone that his government is not going to tolerate any kind of intolerance or any kind of violence and so on in this country, and that the country will be ruled by the Constitution of India. So I'm very happy at the statement which the Prime Minister made.
You said that you were waiting for the Prime Minister to deliver on what he said. What sort of delivery are you now waiting for?
Well, that whenever there is any incidents, any kind of maybe incident of interference with another place of worship or community or whatever, that he would act swiftly and quickly and not allow it to happen. Yeah.
Now, speaking as Archbishop of Delhi, a city where there have been attacks on perhaps as many as 5 churches and possibly 2 convent schools, are you feeling safer and less insecure? In January, those were 2 words you used in an interview you gave me. You said Christians felt unsafe, they felt insecure. Now, after the Prime Minister has spoken, do you feel safer? Do you feel more secure? Do you feel more reassured?
Yes, certainly yes, because the Prime Minister has spoken. And when our chief has spoken, the head of the government has spoken, certainly I feel more secure because he has finally given us the assurance that he will not tolerate any such kind of incident. Yeah.
Now, the Joint General Secretary of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Surendra Jain, has told the Times of India this morning that the Prime Minister's speech was not an assurance to minorities or to Christians in particular. Mr. Jain claims that actually the speech was aimed at Christians who've been attacking Hindus. Mr. Jain says he has 2 reasons for saying this. Firstly, that Mr. Modi was speaking to a gathering of Christians. And secondly, Mr. Modi was speaking on a day when the police released a report stating that 206 temples had been attacked. Consequently, Mr. Jain concludes that the Prime Minister was asking Christians to exercise tolerance and respect the Hindu faith. How do you, as the Archbishop of Delhi, respond to this comment by the Joint General Secretary of the VHP?
Well, first and foremost, I would say the Prime Minister did not speak only to Christians. Of course, the platform, of course, was that function that was organized yesterday to celebrate the canonization of the 2 saints of the Catholic Church from India. But the Prime Minister spoke for the whole nation. The Prime Minister spoke for everyone. And the message that he sent was meant for all. So I don't think that this kind of a comment on the part of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, which we read in the media this morning, is correct or is correctly interpreting what the Prime Minister has said. Therefore, I wouldn't give much credence to that. I say, okay, they have right to say whatever they want, but I would say the Prime Minister had intentions much larger than what the VHP has said in the media this morning. Yeah.
The key element of the VHP gentleman's comment to the Times of India was that he believes the Prime Minister wasn't reassuring Christians or reassuring minorities. He believes the Prime Minister was warning Christians to respect the Hindu faith and to be tolerant of Hindus. Was this, therefore, in your eyes, reassurance from the Prime Minister that you heard, or did you hear a warning from the Prime Minister, as the VHP insists?
I certainly, the message that I got was certainly a reassurance on the part of the Prime Minister and not warning on the part of the Prime Minister, because I cannot quote that whole speech now, but if you read the whole speech, you can see how much the Prime Minister is trying to reassure not only the Christians but everyone, and if at all there is a warning contained in his message, that also is for everyone. And I don't think it's a warning to Christians to respect, because Christians always respect all other faiths, and there is no such thing as disrespect to any faith. Now that kind of a statement is very provocative, and I don't think they can put words into the mouth of the Prime Minister, because what he has said is very clear and for everyone to interpret. So I don't think this kind of a provocative interpretation is correct.
Now, Mr. Surendra Jain, the Joint General Secretary of the VHP, said one more thing to the Times of India. He said that the VHP program of Ghar Wapsi, as well as their protests against love jihad, will continue. How do you respond to that?
Well, I can simply laugh at it. I do not know. But the real Ghar Wapsi, I would say, is the Ghar Wapsi of the Prime Minister, because he has said everyone has to return to the ethos, the democratic ethos of our country, which goes back to so many thousands of years and which is enshrined in our Constitution. And the Constitution guarantees equality of life and opportunity to every faith, every community. Everyone is a citizen of this land. All have equal rights. That is the real Ghar, I would say. That is the house to which we all have to return. And I'm sure Prime Minister has meant that. I would interpret it in that way, not in a communal way, not in a divisive way, but in a very inclusive, comprehensive way, whereby the Prime Minister is telling all citizens individually and collectively to return to this house, which is our motherland, and where all of us feel safe, and which is ruled by the Constitution of India. That is our Ghar.
Now, beyond interpreting the Prime Minister very differently to the media and everyone else, and beyond saying that Ghar Wapsi and protests against love jihad will continue, Mr. Jain also had a direct criticism to make of Christian missionaries. I'm going to quote what he said to the Times of India. It's Christian missionaries which publish literature insulting Hindu deities, run hate campaigns, and insult Hinduism in general. This way, they insult the nation. How do you respond to that, Archbishop?
I am not aware of any Christian literature insulting other religions. I don't know where they have it and who is publishing it. I do not know. I belong to the Catholic Church, and as far as I know, we have the deepest respect for all religions. We believe the salvific value in other religions. We never publish anything which is derogatory of anyone. I don't think this kind of a statement and such a sweeping one is right. I have my exceptions to that. I don't know. I have not come across any such literature at all anywhere.
Now, Archbishop, my last question. You said, and you've said it several times in this interview, that you were greatly reassured by the Prime Minister's speech. You said as a result, Christians feel safer, they no longer feel insecure. Did you get an opportunity yesterday to ask the Prime Minister where he now stands on this demand made by several of his colleagues in government for a law to ban forced conversions?
No, yesterday was a very formal function. We waited for the Prime Minister to come in, and we are given our time we had to deliver our speeches, and at the end the Prime Minister spoke. This is the statement or the speech which he gave, which was very good, which was all reported in the newspapers, and after that Prime Minister went away. So I didn't have any time to interact with him at all yesterday. No.
One more question. You heard the Prime Minister. It was a powerful
Yeah.
speech which many on television heard as well. Did you believe that he was speaking from the heart and actually sharing with the audience his real feelings? Or was this a politically strategic statement being made at a time when, under a lot of pressure, either from Delhi election results or President Obama's comments, he felt the need to say it? In other words, was this political, strategic and tactical, or was it sincere and heartfelt?
Well, I'm not able to analyze the Prime Minister, but I would say political opportunism apart, certainly he was speaking from his heart, certainly. Of course, it coincided with the Prime Minister's, or President Obama's visit to the country and so on. But I would give certainly the benefit of the doubt to the Prime Minister that he spoke from his heart to what he believed. Yeah.
And was that a feeling that was fairly common amongst the audience, that the PM was being sincere and speaking from the heart? Did many people have that feeling as well?
I felt so. I felt at least the majority of the people I kind of spoke to, or who shared their views about the Prime Minister's statement, felt like that the Prime Minister finally did make a statement which came from his heart, and he expressed what he believed and what he always wanted to say in the present scenario.
All right, Archbishop Pujo, let's leave it there. My thanks to you for joining us and explaining how you respond not just to the Prime Minister's statement, but also to those comments made to the Times of India today by the Joint General Secretary of the VHP. And there we end this particular episode. If you have been, thanks for watching. Goodbye. Good night.